Hello, welcome to another episode of Millionaire's Talk. At this show, you get to hear and learn from people who actually make over 7-figure a year. Today is my greatest honor to interview Wang, a 7-figure earner in my company. Lu is an immigrant from China, a graduate from NYU, major in economics. She has only been an entrepreneur for 3.5 years. With her monster passion, unbelievable work ethic, and her laser-focused mindset, she became the youngest $1 million earner in my company. You're looking at someone who had made the impossible become possible. Thank you so much for your time to be on this show with me. So let me begin with a basic question. Who in your life would you say has had the most influence on you?
Well, thank you, Jack, for inviting me to the show. And to answer that question, I would say it would be my mom. Ever since I was born, and she's a very successful businesswoman back in China. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in primary school, she used to have one-on-one mentorship talk with me. The way she raised me, unlike the other child, she actually treated me as an adult and then talked to me like adult to an adult. So I see her, doing all the business, and most importantly, it's not about how much money she makes, but about her spirit. What I learned the most from her is the courage. Back in China, she made it. And when she came to the United States as a new immigrant for my little brother, she didn't just stop there. She learned things, read news, analyzing what's the next trend, what's the next opportunity, and she believes no matter she lives, where she lives, what she does, she wants to be the role model for her kids, which is for me and my little brother. And nowadays, I see a lot of parents say they want to have their kids become entrepreneur and very wonderful kids. And in my opinion, showing is really, really much more important than just saying. Mm-hmm. I think why I picture myself to become who I want to become today is because of my mom, because of her role model to me when I was a little baby. Mm. And I picture myself, I want to become someone like her one day, strong, confident, and brave, and kind. And so I would say she is the person who influenced me the most.
Yeah, I have a similar situation with you, and I think many of my audience know. At a very young age, my dad passed away because he was diagnosed having liver cancer. So I was raised up by my mom, okay? And one of the things that you said, actually the word you used was courage. You learned from your mom. And that's exactly what I learned from my mom as well. After my dad passed away, personally, I have never seen my mom cry, at least, not even one time in front of me and my brothers. I'm sure behind the door she was suffering from the loss of her husband, and also had a lot of pain, a lot of things that she had to go through. But in front of us, I had never, ever personally witnessed one time she cried in front of us. And that's one thing that helped me to become a strong entrepreneur, is the courage part. And personally, I really believe that females, especially female and mother, they usually make it a great entrepreneur because they are very, very, very strong in terms of personality and character in every aspect. Now, entrepreneurs is something that people talk about a lot this day. Entrepreneurship is something that people constantly talking about on social media and every single day. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, can you teach someone to become a successful entrepreneur? That was a question that most people constantly asking me this day. And my answer usually is saying that yes, you can always teach someone to become an entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur one day, as long as they have a desire to do so. The key is desire, right? I don't think that you can teach anybody to become an entrepreneur if they don't want to become one. Now, for you particularly, personally, is entrepreneurship the path you always wanted to take initially?
Absolutely not. So because I see both of my parents, they are businesswomen, businessmen. So I see all of the up and downs they go through in the entrepreneurship. I see the risk, the pressure they undergo. So I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always want.
So you see a lot of bad things, a lot of challenges.
Yes. I always wanted to be one of those women like my mom who's courageous, strong, confident, however, more like in a corporate America side. I imagine myself like what I did before in corporate America, going to becoming the core management in the corporate America, because in my mind, that means less risk, less pressure, less responsibility. I was not a person who wanted to take on more responsibility, take on more pressure. A lot of people see me today feel like, oh, you are the MVP, number one. But in fact, even today, I was never one of those number one person. I didn't want to take that much pressure, that much risk. However, oftentimes life is this strange and wonderful. Oftentimes you don't really go on the path you imagine yourself being doing. Sometimes it just happened and suddenly your life changed. But now, after I went through all of this, becoming who I become today, I actually want to thank my mom who led me to this way, because you opened another window for me. Let me see. Actually, there's a lot of positive side to entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Well, you know, when someone look at an individual like you now making over 7-figure, it could be very intimidating, right? And success intimidate a lot of people. But what most people don't see is behind anyone's success, they have to go through many ups and many downs. And I truly can tell people, especially the first 5 years of your career or anybody's career, you will go through more downs than ups. So can you share with us how are you able to stay motivated through the ups and downs of building your business?
I think the most important thing is finding a mentor who has the connection with you and who has the experience, capability in teaching you. And I'm very lucky that I found a mentor. So a lot of times it's actually the perspective. It's only a little bit change in the perspective, then your whole picture changed. I remember one time we were on a call and I was telling you, I felt so much pressure. And in my mind, I was trying to ask you, I believe a lot of entrepreneurs has this type of question. How can I deal with pressure? How can I minimize it? And you told me on the phone right away, you said, Lu, you don't deal with pressure. You don't minimize it. You get used to it. It's that one sentence, just 2 seconds, changed my whole entrepreneur mindset right away, because suddenly I felt so lighted. I felt, oh wow, actually once you get used to something, it's all about the expectation. I used to expect that when you're becoming more and more successful, you should have less and less pressure, but actually it's not true, because success meaning responsibility, meaning pressure. So actually the right mindset is all about getting used to it, having the right expectations, then you don't feel that much overwhelmed. So my suggestion, and which I did over the past, is go whenever you feel down. Don't just stick with yourself, because you yourself can only provide you the same perspective, and you'll be stuck in the same perspective. And don't go asking opinion all around, because everybody give you their opinion, but that might not be the truth. Go only ask the person who you trust, who is your mentor, and follow your mentor's perspective, and that perspective will help you to lift up.
And I think the two hardest things for an entrepreneur to do is, number one, the ability to endure pain for a long period of time. Before we were doing this interview, literally about 2 hours ago, one of my mentees actually left me a long message. And she's pretty new to the business. She's pretty new as an entrepreneur. And the last 60 days, she went through a lot of challenges. And to cut the story short, the message was saying that, I work extremely hard, and some of my clients now are changing their mind and canceling the policies and the accounts, and just things are not going my way this 60 days, and I feel very bad. I don't want to disappoint you. That was her message. And my response to her is, look, if you want to be successful, the number one quality of an entrepreneur is to be able to endure pain for a long period of time. If you can't do that, kiss it goodbye. I like what you said, anticipation. I love what you said, perspective. It's all right here. If you don't know how to process issue correctly, you're gonna get knocked out very quickly, right? And the second hardest thing to do as an entrepreneur, I believe, is to do what you're not comfortable doing. Okay? Anytime that you do something that's quite comfortable, you're not gonna have big success in life. Anything that's big requires you to do things that's not comfortable. So if you're going on a path that you're not feeling good, it's difficult, a lot of challenges, I can tell you, you're on the right track, you're on the right path. That leads to my next question, okay? Now, you became the youngest seven-figure earner in my company now. I'm not gonna tell people your age. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say that on this show right now. You must be doing something differently than other people, right? So where do you get your competitive edge from?
I would say my competitive edge is actually coming from fear. Again, it's about the way I grew up. I saw a lot of things. Seeing my parents doing business and a lot of their friends and family members, and I see how important money is. Mm-hmm. I really like one time you said in your seminar saying money is not important, and money is important when you need it. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe in that. I truly believe as long as we live in this world, only health money cannot solve, but the rest, 99% of the problems actually caused by money. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to become one of those who I saw. And this is why I work very hard. To me, money is never about buying luxury stuff or showing off. To me, money means freedom of choice, meaning you can provide your loved ones whatever you want to provide for them. And you can choose whoever you want to be with, whatever you want to choose, not based on the calculations, not based on sacrifice, but actually based on the freedom of willpower, the freedom of choice. And this is what I wanted.
Most people today, they're broke is because they got the money concept absolutely incorrect and wrong. And when we all grew up, I can tell you most of the traditional people will keep saying to you, money is the root of all evil. Money is not important. And very quickly I found out that's not true. I don't think money actually changed anyone. Who you are is who you are. Money only reveals who you already are. If you're a good human being with more money, you can contribute more, you can give more, you can do more. It'll make you even more generous, even a greater human being. But if you're somebody who's, greedy, self-centered, you're an evil type of human being with more money, as we can see, they become more evil, right? So money doesn't change who we are. Money only reveals who we already are. Many people, they say, well, I'm shy, I'm an introverted, I don't want to talk to people, therefore I cannot be successful. Were you ever an introverted individual, and how were you able to transform yourself?
I was, and I am still today. Yeah, I was one of those who used to believe that your personality will determine the life you will have.
Yeah.
I truly believed in that until I went through all I went through in the past 3.5 years. I realized it's not your personality. Mm-hmm. It's actually what you want, what you don't want, what you want. Your mindset, your perspective determine what life you will go. So nowadays, I truly believe it's never about whether you fit for something or you're not. It's all about how much you actually want it. Because if you really, really want it, you are going to change. Eventually, one day, it seems that you become better at it, you become good at it. Maybe your personality still doesn't change, but only because you want it badly enough. Your appearance, people see you as changing, become more outgoing. Even until today, in private, I don't want to talk. I like to listen, but I'm not one of those who talk a lot, or I don't want any attention. But because I want what this business can bring to me. And I know only this business, only the entrepreneurship can give me what I want. Then I just change and I do whatever it takes.
Well, I want to piggyback on what you just said, the word change, right? I think people change for 3 different reasons. And on this particular subject here, I'm a little bit different than you. First thing that people change accidentally. Then they change. Second type of people, they change intentionally. And the third type of people, they change because they are forced to change. And from what I'm hearing, you intentionally change because you want to do it. You found your why. But for me, many years ago, people asked me, man, you were an introverted little young kid, very shy. How did you change from an introverted individual to somebody now, educating so many people in the world? Well, that was because I was forced to change. I came from a family where I don't have father. When I was a young kid, we were broke. We're desperate. We were desperate, so I had to change. Now, let's talk about some good thing about being an entrepreneur. Okay, we'll talk about a lot of challenges so far, but let's talk about something good here. What aspect of being an entrepreneur do you like the most?
Freedom. As I mentioned early on, before I was working in corporate America, so the time was very steady, and the promotion is also very, very stricted. It's all fixed. Once I taste of the freedom of time, I could never go back. Because as an entrepreneur, you decide your own schedule. You decide how high you want to claim. There's no ceiling of how high you can claim, and there's no time limit. And I think that's the thing that I like the most. If you want more, then you can work really hard to gain more. If you say, hey, this week, the whole week or the whole month, I want to relax, I want to take vacation, then you can just go. And I think this aspect is the aspect I like the most in entrepreneur, which is time freedom. And the second aspect is financial freedom. Because 7-figure, I always hear people asking me, hey, how much tax you need to pay? I remember one time you told us how much tax you are paying. And I actually admire that. Because in my opinion, the more tax you pay does not mean the sacrifice you made, but actually it means how much value you can bring to this society. So to me, 7-figure, the difference between 7-figure and 6-figure is not about how many stuff you can buy, but more about how much difference you can make in this society.
No doubt.
And to me, 7-figure meaning you can do a lot more.
That's true.
In the direction you want to do. You can help more people you want to help, and you have the choice. Who share the same philosophy, you want to help more, and you can help them sustainably, but not just one time. And this is what I like about entrepreneurship.
Great answer. I want to also add something to what you said. For me personally, I'm blessed to make millions of dollars in my career. But I want to share with the audience today, it's not how much money you make or even how much money do you possess. Because at the end, we're all gonna die one day. You're not gonna be able to take any money to wherever you're gonna go after you pass away, after you die. It's not how much money you make or possess. It's what do you do with those money you currently have, right? And for me, being an entrepreneur, what gave me the ultimate happiness is to be able to contribute back and give it back to the people who much need it, right? And able to see, people like you who absolutely came from no experience as an entrepreneur, now able to make 7-figure. Those are the things that we can do when we become that ultra successful person that many people look up to. So to me, that is what I'm truly blessed about every single day being an entrepreneur. Now, we all make mistakes in anything, in our business especially, because when people look at the final product of a successful entrepreneur like you, they tend to feel that you're perfect, you don't make any mistakes, you must be like just to a point where you just like automatically do everything in a perfection manner, right? But you and I know that's not true. If you have to share with the audience that one thing that you could have done all over again, what is that one thing in your career you would do over if you had the chance again?
First of all, I truly believe all of the mistakes, all of the failures we went through actually made who we become today. So things happen for a reason. And sometimes we have to fail in order for us to learn. But if I have to say one thing that if I have the chance to do over again, I would say become more disciplined in terms of exercise-wise. I still remember one time you say a lot of entrepreneurs cannot go on because of the fatigue reason. It's actually a totally new perspective that I learned, because oftentimes people feel like it's about the capability, things like that.
But it's the energy, right? Yes. It's the energy you gotta have, because that's one thing that you cannot afford to lose. Once you lose the energy, game is pretty much over.
Yes, exactly. It's more about the energy and how can you maintain energy. Before 3.5 years ago, I was, very active. I did a lot of exercise. I trained my muscle. I have a lot of muscle.
Really?
Yeah, not now.
You kind of lost it over the years, huh? Okay.
Because during the past 3.5 years, I always found excuse for myself. I said, oh, I already very, very working hard, and I feel very, very tired. So whenever I have time, I just sleep. Yeah, so sleep, but no longer doing a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
But actually, exercise, just looking at you, because you always told me exercise, keeping up your energy, and I see the difference. You are always so energetic, and I know I can do more. So from this point on, I will become my past lifestyle too.
So we're gonna see some muscles back soon, right?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. I'm holding you accountable to that one, okay? Yeah, you can afford to lose anything as an entrepreneur. I think I did an episode on that Success Edge, episode 81, on how to not lose energy. You can afford to lose a big team, a big client, CFO, the biggest leader in your company, whatever. But if you lose that one thing, which is energy, is called kiss of death. Game is over. So great point right there. Now that you became pretty successful, I know there's a lot more to go with your capability and potential. Has being successful changed the way you deal with people?
I don't know whether people change their perspective on me, but I don't think I changed my perspective on other people, because I believe I'm still the same person before. It's just that because I feel more, I feel that I'm very grateful that I happened to encounter a right opportunity in the right timing. And with my mom's help, and also with my mentor help, and with my team members' help, I become who I am today. So I never wanted to take any credit of what it seems to be made. I want to put it that way, what it seemed to be made, because it's not I made it. It's because all of the things combined that made me made it. The only two attributes I attributed is coachability and hustle, and that's it. And I believe truly anybody in my position who can be coachable and as I am, and who can be hustling as I am, can all make it. So having that mindset, I don't think I changed a bit, because in my opinion, I never feel that I made it, but because I would rather say we made it. And I truly believe your principle, which is money does not change you. Money is like a magnifier. It only reveals who you truly are. And I think with the current image right now, we can do a lot more things. And one of the things that motivates me to do more is also because of my people. Because I also like what you said, don't focus on the like, but focus on the life you can touch. You can actually inspire. When I see my people going on the stage, getting the award, having the smile, or becoming more and more confident, finding themselves back, become happier, and that feeling money cannot buy. And that was the first feeling I had when I started this business. And that is still the same feeling I focus on in order for me to keep moving.
All right. Handling success is a big challenge for people. I met a lot of people in my career. I have mentored a lot of people too, but eventually many of them, they capped. Eventually many of them, kind of lost the edge. And one of the biggest reasons that I found and I saw personally with my own eyes, that they don't know how to handle success. When you are not there yet, it's easy to be humble. It's easy to listen. It's easy to do this and it's easy to do that. But as we escalate our success to higher and higher level, we seem sometimes feel that we are different than other people. We are more talented. We start to talk a little bit differently. We start to walk a little bit differently. If you don't handle correctly, you can get up here in 10 years, but it take you 1 year to lose everything. I see many people have experienced that challenge, is they are not able to handle success gently, all right? And I'm glad to hear the philosophy from you right now is about staying humble and remember who you were and where you came from, because that's important. Now, what advice would you give to someone that wants to achieve the type of success you have?
Pick a right opportunity, right trend, right industry, and then find a mentor who's been there, done there, and still doing it. And most importantly, if you are lucky enough that the mentor feels the same way, the mentor wants to teach you, never, never, never take granted. Cherish it, because your mentor also has a timing. Your mentor also has limited time and resource, so cherish it and learn as much as you can, and always remember it, to be loyal to the mentor, to the cause. And the third thing is, after that, laser focus. I see a lot of people fail actually because they feel that there are so many opportunities out there. So they want to try this one, try that one, try that one. But to me, I truly believe there aren't that many opportunities out there. It seems might be, but that's not true. There are only very, very few, maybe one or two opportunities in our lifetime. You grasp it, you grasp it. You lose it, you lose it. That's what I truly believe. It's like the right man and woman. There's only a few in your life.
I want to explain to the audience a little bit about what you said so they don't misunderstand what you just said. It's important. And I believe what you actually shared earlier is that in our life, we have one or two opportunities that fits us, right? There are many opportunities in the world. And there are people who can be successful as a social media influencer and selling courses because they got the talent, the image, and the dynamic personality. That's great. Some people can be a successful real estate agent, realtor. Some people can be in the insurance, financial services like you. There are so many opportunities in the world. However, for any one of us, we usually have only one or two great opportunities that fits us in our life. And I'm a big believer of specialize in one thing. Specialize in one thing and become an expert in it. The notion, the philosophy of multiple stream incomes doesn't work for 99.99% of the people, right? You got to find one opportunity that you have passion about, and when you wake up in the morning, if you don't feel great about what you're doing, any one of you out there, it's time to quit. And if you wake up in the morning, you feel super excited about what you're doing, keep going even when times become tough. So that one thing is important. Specialize and don't generalize and try to do everything, right? So the last question I have for you on this interview is this, Lou. If there's one thing you want to say to the audience, what is that one thing you must possess as an entrepreneur to even have a chance to become successful?
I would say brave heart, meaning the courage, resilience, invincible spirit. What does that mean? Because the minute you wanted to take the entrepreneurship world, the first thing you're going to hear is not, hey, I support you, let's do it. The first thing you're going to hear is, are you sure you want to do this? Are you ready? Do you have enough money? Do you have the resource? Do you have the network? It's all the doubt coming from your friend and from your family. People asking that not because they don't believe in this, but maybe because they try to protect you. Yeah. They don't believe in you yet. So, and then the next stage, you think you make some money, you prove a little bit, and then you are going to hear all the yeses, but that's not true. You are still going to hear a lot of no's, coming from outside, coming from inside, all over. And you are going to take on more responsibility and more rejections, more failures in order for you to grow to the next stage. So at this part, you need a brave heart to stay focused, to stay positive, to think right. And then the next stage, again, still a lot of rejections, a lot of failures.
It never goes away.
It's never going to be easy.
It doesn't go away. It doesn't matter how successful you become.
Yes, and still you need a brave heart to digest all of the negativity, and in order for you to stay positive, to stay energetic. So brave heart meaning the courage to charge on, no matter where you are right now. The next day you still need to put a big smile and to face it. But not thinking about, oh, let me just quit or let me change to another path. Then you will never be able to conquer something. Resilience. Invincible doesn't mean that you never get hurt. Doesn't mean that you don't fail. But meaning no matter how many times you fail, you get hurt, you charge on. You stay on. You move on. So that's what I want to share.
Well, I enjoyed this talk, this interview so much, Lou, and I appreciate your time very much. And before we wrap it up, I want to add the last point that you must possess as an entrepreneur, which is work ethic. I'm extremely blessed in my career personally, and I see same with you, is that successful people, they work extremely hard. And when I say extremely hard, people don't see it. Anyone that's a high performer, they work hard behind the door. Nobody see how hard they work, right? And I'm one of those guys that's extremely blessed because I didn't have to do any shortcuts. I didn't compromise my integrity or value to get to where I am today. It was so great. The greatest feeling is that all I did was I found an opportunity that I had passion about, and after that, I put a lot of hard work in, and I spent 23 years with undiminished enthusiasm, with a lot of hustle and work ethic, and finally I can get to a level where I'm no longer working for money. So that one thing I do want to add on is work ethic. If you're willing to work hard on something you believe in the long run, you can pretty much beat anyone. So once again, Lou, thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed this talk a lot. And thank you, my world audience, for your continued support to our channel. It means so much to me that you constantly giving us feedback, comments, and the little likes, the little love. It's just continue to inspire us to continue to come up with better and better contents to help you to elevate to the highest level as an entrepreneur. So thank you so much, Lou, and I enjoyed the talk very much. Guys, see you next time. Take care.